What is your position on the future of the State Fair and EXPO New Mexico?
Greg Hull, you are first.
Well, I think the State Fair, right where it's at, is it's a tradition. It has been there since as long as I can remember, and I think the State Fair needs to stay right where it's at because it is part of the identity of New Mexico. It is part of the identity of Albuquerque, and it attracts a lot of business. It attracts. It's a great place to go when you want to hang out with your family, and it's just wonderful entertainment. So I think we need to look at ways that we can preserve that here in Albuquerque, because I'd hate to see it move off into some outer location around the community where it would be hard to get to it, or we'd have to spend a whole lot of additional dollars to put the infrastructure in to support a new facility. So I very much would support trying to see what we could do to keep it right where it's at, but I don't know that decisions haven't been made already that would stop that.
Doug Turner, you are next.
So, I went to a Stevie Ray Vaughan concert 40 years ago at Tingley Coliseum, and I think then it was 40 or 50 years old.
Yeah.
I think the State Fair is awesome. My kids love to go. But it is difficult to get into now. So I mean, I actually think the best use and the best thing that the state can do with that real estate, is to redevelop it and find appropriate uses, whether it's for a reasonably sized stadium for New Mexico United or other uses, or housing. I mean, we're 32,000 housing units short, in this state, but the real estate itself needs to be used to the best interest of the taxpayer and the best interest of the user. So if the State Fair were moved to another part of the community, out to the west side or elsewhere, it'll improve access, we'll have a brand new facility, and I think it's better for consumers.
And Mr. Rodriguez.
On the State Fairgrounds issue, I love the State Fair. I've been to it too many times to count. But it's also an area I don't think we have to make that decision right here today. It's an issue worth considering, weighing whether we move it to the west side, whether we move it out to a certain county. I think all those things are valuable. What I don't like, and this is a perfect example, every time we have a challenge, we quickly either want to abandon the efforts we've made so far or try to paint a new picture of something faster, cheaper, better. That doesn't always work. With the State Fairgrounds, I hope this administration will basically stop and realize your time is over. Hand it over to the new administration, and let's have a commitment that will last not just the next 6 months, not just press releases or media alerts. Let's have a system that works. Let's deal with State Fair. Let's talk to the stakeholders, and let's make the right final decision.